Dear Ukrainians, first of all, about the massive strike with which the Russians began this day. 29 missiles of various types were launched and 25 of them were shot down. This is an important result of our air defense. And once again we emphasize that air defense is a daily necessity. Thank you to all our partners who understand this. Even as another Geneva track begins, both trilateral and bilateral meetings with the US, Russia greets it with a strike. This clearly demonstrates what Russia wants and what they are set on. There were also almost 400 drones. The threat of strikes does not disappear. Cold weather attracts Russia, and they will continue trying to put winter in the service of war. That is why all our warriors who protect the sky must remain extremely vigilant. Thank you for your precision. All Ukrainian diplomats must also be as active as possible to deliver results in the supply of air defense missiles, as must the Minister of Defense. We have just had a meeting with Minister Fedorov. We determined priorities. It is necessary that deliveries work. In the coming weeks there will also be a significant number of formats with our partners, different talks and different meetings. We will talk as well about the fact that Europe needs its own production of air defense missiles, all types of missiles that are truly needed. Certain steps already exist. Building up production, expanding it, but the speed of this work is still insufficient. The potential production volumes also need to be increased. Ukraine spoke about it with the United States years ago, including the need to create sufficient missile production in Europe, in particular for Patriots. There were promises of licenses, but the United States ultimately did not go for it. Although we proposed production both in Ukraine and jointly with NATO partners in the region, with Romania, with Poland, and so on. Such decisions and such production would definitely have strengthened all of us, all of Europe. I am confident that Europe will still be able to provide itself with the necessary volumes and the strength of protection. But it would be much better for everyone if this result were achieved faster. All day today, work has continued in Odessa after the night strikes. There were major power outages in Odessa as well as in settlements in Odessa region. People were also left without heat and water. Unfortunately, as of now, restoration has not yet been completed. The work will continue. I instructed to provide Odessa with all the necessary support and speed up the restoration. Later today there will be a report from the delegation after the first round of talks in Geneva. They absolutely must raise the issue of these strikes. The question is, first of all, to the American side, which proposed that both us and Russia refrain from strikes. Ukraine is ready, we don't need a war, and we always act in a mirror manner. We defend our state, our independence. Likewise, we are ready to move quickly toward a decent agreement to end the war. The only question is to the Russians. What do they want? And also, will there be some consequences for Russia for the fact that shaheds, missiles, and fantasy talk on historical themes matter more to them than real diplomacy and a lasting peace? One more thing, in all these Russian missiles and drones used today, there are thousands of components that Russia does not produce itself. 5 Iskander-M missiles contain at least 75 critical components made outside Russia. 3 Ha-101 missiles contain almost 160 components that Russia cannot replace on its own. Each shard has hundreds of such components that are brought into Russia from other countries and not only from Chinese companies, by the way. They are also from Europe, the United States, Japan. It is important not only for us in Ukraine but for global security in general that partners truly block supply chains into Russia of critical components for weapons production, and that the companies themselves monitor better where their components end up. Russia cannot do anything without such ties to the world. They are not capable of being strong in complete isolation. That is precisely why blocking and pressure can truly push the aggressor to change its policy, but this depends on the world's resolve. I thank everyone who acts strongly so that the aggressor loses the ability to drag out this war. I thank everyone who helps us, who helps Ukraine. Glory to Ukraine.